Ai, aloha hou mai kākou e nā ohana. Lana ka mana o mai ka ino o ko pakahia pau. Mahalo kia hui hou ana o kākou i kia pule no ke kahi haʻawina o lelo Hawaiʻi. It's great to be back. Hope everyone's doing maikai. And welcome back to another haʻawina o lelo Hawaiʻi this week for another haʻawina hui ki pai pai. Maikai loa. E nāna kākou i nā pahu hopu o kia pule. Let's take a look at the goals for this week. Nā pahuhopu o kia pule is helu e kahi, e ho'oma'ama'a I nā pepeke painu. All right, so let's take a look at the pepeke painu that we're going to ho'oma'ama'a practice. Yeah. The first pepeke painu is the pepeke painu kumau. Yeah, and kumau, remember, has no tense. Yeah, it's just a habitual action, something that happens. Okay, that tends to happen. So that's our first thing that we're going to review is the pepeke painu kumau. The second one is the pepeke painu kaoha, which is again is the command, right? Either using a in the positive form or mai in the negative form. The next one is noka va ihala. Okay, keep in mind these phrases now. Va ihala means something that happened in the past, right? A completed action, and that maka painu is ua in the positive form and e in the negative form. Okay, keep this in mind. This is very important. The next one is noka va ʻaʻano, right? Again, noka va ʻaʻano, something that is happening in the present time, in the present moment, right? In the process of happening. And that is, we use k ne in the positive form, yeah, k blank ne in the positive form, a blank ne in the negative form, okay? In those blanks, we put the painu, right? That's where the verb goes. All right, and the next one is nokava ehiki mayana. Okay, it didn't happen yet. It's not happening right now. It will happen in the future. Okay, it will happen sometime. And for that, we use the eana, the eana in both the positive and negative forms. They don't change, they remain the same. Eana, eana. Maikai, next one. No ka ho'ike I ka hana ʻano. Okay, for something that is happening right now or in the process of happening or becoming something. Yeah. And again, eana in both the positive and negative forms. We refer to this as eana elua. Yeah. Eana elua, which is number 2. And whereas the first eana is eana ekahi. Okay. So just keep that in mind. We didn't mark it here, but keep that in mind. And the last thing is e ho'omau I na hua ʻŌlelo o ka hauki. We're going to continue building up our vocabulary words for the various types of sports. All right, so with that said, e luʻu kākou I ka haʻawina. Let's dive into the haʻawina and check out what we have in store for you for this week. All right, so here's our first example of nā maka painu, our ho'oma'ama'a, practicing our maka painu. In this example, the la'ana, the main la'ana at the top is a pepeke painu kumo. There is no tense. So let's take a look at that. Ki o ka leo I ke kini popo pohina'i. All right. What was the word ki again? Heaha kamana'o. I, to shoot. In this case, a basketball, right? In the context of the sport of basketball. Who's doing the shooting? O kaleo. What is kaleo shooting? Ike kini popo pohina'i. Maikai, the basketball. We have an image there. We have a ki'i there of the basketball. Let's take a look at this sentence. This pepeke painu kumau. And let's add some māka painu to it. Yeah, to add some tense to it. Because remember, the pepeke painu kumau has no tense. It's something that happens habitually, right? It's a habitual action. Now we're going to add the māka painu to give us some tense to it, okay? To give us a sense of time. All right, so in the first example, we have e kiana o kaleo ikikini popo. Kaleo will shoot the basketball, okay? And in the negative form, a ole e kiana o kaleo ikikini popo. Kaleo will not shoot the basketball. Okay, maikai. Very good. O'omawaku. The next one is ke nei. Ke kine o kaleo ikikini popo. Kaleo is shooting the basketball right now as we speak. And in the negative form, a ole e kine o kaleo ikikini popo. Kaleo is not shooting the basketball right now as we speak. Okay. And the last one is the māka painu ua. Okay. Ua ki o ka leo I ke kini pōpō. Okay. Ka leo shot the basketball. Right. Ka leo shot the basketball because now we have ua as our māka painu. Okay. And in the negative form, ʻaʻole I ki o ka leo I ke kini pōpō. Ka leo did not shoot the basketball. Remember now, in the negative form, ua changes to I. Okay? E nana kākou I ke kahi la'ana. Let's take a look at another example. All right, Maikai, here we have another one, another sport. Yep. The word is hoi va'a. Okay, hoi va'a means to paddle canoe. Ai, hoi va'a. And just to note that in this painu, we have a combination of two words, yeah, that make up this one word. Hoi is the paddle, va'a is the canoe. And when you hoi va'a, right, you're paddling the canoe, okay? So keep that in mind as we look at this example, okay? So hoi va'a, all right, to paddle. Who's doing the paddling? Ka'u'ohana. Okay, where are they doing the paddling? Ma kevalo. Oh, where's kevalo? Ma oahu. So that is our pepeke painu kumo. No tense involved. We're just stating it that, hey, my family, we paddle canoe at kevalo on oahu. Okay, there's no tense involved. We're just stating what we do. All right. Now let's go ahead and put some māka painu to these. E ana, kene, and ua. The first one, e hoi va'aana, ka'u'ohana, ma ke valo, ma oahu, in the positive form. In the negative form, a ole e hoi va'aana, ka'u'ohana, ma ke valo, ma oahu. Okay? My family will not paddle at ke valo on oahu. Okay? Maikai, with the makapainu kini, ke hoi va'a nei, ka'u'ohana, ma ke valo, ma oahu. Okay, so my family is paddling right now as we speak at ke valo on oahu. And the negative form, a ole e hoi va'a nei, ka'u'ohana, ma ke valo, ma oahu. My ohana is not paddling at this present moment at Kevalo on Oahu. The last one is the Maka Painu Ua. Okay? Ua hoi va'a ka'u'ohana ma Kevalo ma Oahu. All right? In the positive form, my family paddled at Kevalo on Oahu. All right? And in the negative form, a ole I hoi va'a ka'u'ohana ma Kevalo ma Oahu. My ohana, my family did not paddle at Kevalo on Oahu. Yeah, great practice, yeah, to see how we can take a Pepeke Painu, Kumo, and add the Maka Painu to them and to give us an idea of when these actions took place. Whether it just happens, it's a continual habitual thing, or if it's going to happen, or if it's happening right now, or if it happened in the past. Okay. Mai kai, e ho'omaua kuno. All right. The last one is holo paiki kala, laua makiala nui. Okay. Holo paiki kala is again made up of two words, holo and paiki kala, right? To holo means to ride. What are we riding? Paiki kala, a bicycle. Okay. Who's doing the riding? Ai, Lahua, those two guys in the picture right there. Where are they riding? Makialanui, on the road. Let's take this Pepeke Painu Kumo, this habitual, no tense sentence, and add some Maka Painu to them. Okay, so here we go. Hanaho, just like how we did in the first two examples, we're just going to run through them all. All right, so let's put them into the various Maka Painu. Number one, e holo peiki kalahana, laua makialanui, in the positive form. Them two or they two are going to ride bike on the road. In the negative form, ole laua e holopaiki kalana makiala nui. They're not going to ride bike on the road. Okay, so they're going to ride bike someplace else. Yeah. All right, ho'omo. Ke holopaiki kala nei laua Makiala nui. Them two, they two are currently, presently riding their bike on the ala nui at this time. A ole laua e holo paiki kala nei, makiala nui. They're not riding their bike on the road at this time, at this present moment, yeah, in the negative form. All right, and the last one is ua holo paiki kala laua makiala nui. They too, those two guys, they rode their bike on the road. And in the negative form, a ole laua I holo peki kala makiala nui. They too, them two guys, did not ride their bike on the road. Mai ka iloa, and this is going to help you prepare for what we're going to do for this week, which is an interactive haʻawina. So let's take a look at the okui or the directions. We're going to ho'oma'a haku hopuna ʻŌlelo. You folks are going to haku your own hopuna ʻŌlelo based on the following criteria. So let's take a look. E nāna kako. All right, helu e kahi. Create a pepeke painu sentence to describe the picture that we're going to provide using the proper māka painu. Maikai, helu elua. Review the items to be included in the sentence. So we're going to have a list for you. So you're going to need to review the items that need to be included. Okay, these are the criteria that must be included in the sentence. And lastly, use words from all previous papa hua ʻŌlelo, okay, our various vocabulary lists. Okay, with that said, let's take a look at the first la'ana. We're going to give you an example first before we let you haku your hopuna ʻŌlelo with your kumu or with your fellow ohana or amongst yourselves, yeah, within your ohana, hikino, and we're going to have fun. Here we go. All right, so this is how the ho'oma'ama'a will work. We're going to give you the following criteria, and you're going to create a sentence based on this. But this is just an example. Yeah, this is a la'ana of how this ho'oma'ama'a is going to work. Okay, so we want the māka painu to be a kumau. We want the painu to be the word hili. We want the piko to be a ka'imeme'a combination. We want a papani to be in the ave. Okay, here's an example of what it could look like. We would like you to do both a positive and a negative statement. Okay, so the first one is hili. We chose ko'u anakala as our ka'imeme'a piko. And the ave is ikikini popo ya maua. Okay, ikikini popo ya maua. All right, so my uncle hili the ball. He went hili the kini popo. In this case, the baseball, right? Ya maua to us in our direction. Yeah, toward us. Okay. Negative form would be a ole hili ko'u anakala ikikini popo ya maua. All right, Maikai. So this is the la'ana. On the next slide, you guys are going to do this. Oya, no Leila, ko manawa keia. This is your turn. So let's take a look at the next slide. Okay, now here's the criteria. Again, maka painu will be a kumau. The painu will be the word hili. The piko will be a ka'imeme, a combination, totally up to you. And the ave would be a papani. Right? The papani will be receiving the action. It could be maua, it could be kaua, it could be any of the papani that we've learned thus far. All right. So this is the criteria. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay. And akumu. So your kumu will pause the video, and you guys will take a few minutes to go ahead and haku your own pepeke painu. Okay. You're gonna haku your own pepeke painu, and then you're gonna share out. Okay. So after you create your pepeke painu, either by yourself or with your family member or with another ohana, then you're gonna share out, and then we're gonna come back and ho'omau and also put it in the pahu kole kole so that everybody can see. Maikai loa. Oh yeah, maikai. Lucky maikai. Good luck. We'll see you in a few minutes. Aloha. Oh yeah, maikai. We're back. Hopefully you created your pepeke painu using the pepeke painu kumau with the word hili and the ka'imemea as your piko and the papani as your ave, and that you guys had good fun sharing out, and that everybody had made their own pepeke painu kumau using these criteria. All right, e ho'omau kākou. The next one would be, here's another la'ana for you guys. Number one, we want the māka painu to be va'ihala. Okay, remember what māka painu is that? Ai, pololei ua. Okay, Maikai, you know what the māka painu is. Number two, we want the painu to be ho'okuku. Okay, what does ho'okuku mean? All right, so go ahead and check your papahu ʻŌlelo if you're not remembering what ho'okuku means at this time. Ale pilikia, ʻaʻole pilikia. Take some time to go look it up in your papahu ʻŌlelo. This is the painu, or the verb that we're going to use. The piko will be a ka'i memea combination again, and the ave will be a papani as well. So here's what we created, and you guys can use this as a la'ana, as an example. Okay, so in the positive form, we created the pepeke, ua ho'okuku ke kaikamahine ya laua. The kaikamahine competed with them too. Yeah, laua. Those two guys, laua them too. Yeah. And in the negative form, ole I ho'okuku ke kaikamahine ya laua. The kaikamahine did not compete with those two guys over there. All right, Maikai, that's the example. That's the la'ana. So go ahead and use this as a template for your Haʻawina. And here we go. All right, again, we want the māka painu to be va'ihala. We want the painu to be ho'okuku. And we want the piko to be a ka'imeme, a combination. And lastly, we want a papani to be in the ave. No Leila, remember now, you want a haku, both a positive and a negative form of the sentence. Okay. All right. Again, pause the video and have fun with that. And I'll check back with you in a few minutes. Ahui ho. Oh yeah, mai ka'iloa. Hope you guys created some fun pepeke painu with va'ihala, and that you guys have a better sense of how to create this pepeke as we are doing an interactive ha'awina tonight. Remember now, there are no wrong answers, but we would like you to check with your kumu. Yeah, make sure that you have everything in the proper place. You have the okina and the kahako. You have the proper markers, especially for the papani, right, in the ave. Because it's a papani, you mark it with the amilauka ya and not e. So hopefully you got some great tips from your fellow ohana, your kumu, and that you guys had a good fun tonight with this interactive ho'oma'ama'a or practice ha'awina. Yeah, no leila mai ka iloa. All right, here's one more la'ana. Here we go. We want the maka painu to be va'ano. Okay, what is va'ano? Happening right now. Yeah, at this present moment. We want the painu to be makoko. Okay, we know what makoko means. It means ready. If you're ready, then you have skills, right? You're skilled in something. Okay, and we want the piko to be an ioa. Remember what an ioa is? Yeah, it's a name. And then the ave, we want the ave to include a ka'imemea. Okay, a ka'imemea in the ave, and we want it to be in both the positive and negative forms. So here's what we came up with. All right, let's check it out. Ke makoko ni o ka leinani I ka ho'oma'ama'a. All right, and she is doing povavai. Yeah, the hauki of povavai, which is soccer. Kaleinani is becoming skilled from practice because she is determined and she is practicing every single day. Okay, in the negative form, we put down a'ole e makoko nei o kaleinani I ka ho'oma'ama'a. Kaleinani is not in the process of becoming skilled because of practice or due to practice or from practice. All right, so this is our example. This is what we created. Now it's your turn. Yeah, oko manava keia. One more time for good measure. Here we go. All right, same thing. For the maka painu, you want it to be va'ano. You want the painu to be makoko, which means skilled. We want the piko to be an ioa. So you guys choose a name. Yeah, and you plug it in there. And finally, we want to have a ka'imemea in the ave. Okay. Pause the video, talk story, create your pepeke, put it in the pahu kole kole, and share out with your fellow ohana. Hiki no, lucky mai ka'i, good luck, a hui ho. Oia, mai ka'i loa. Oia vale no e na ohana no keia pule, mahalo keia hui ana. We hope that you enjoyed creating your pepeke painu sentences with the various māka painu, and that you had fun interacting with your fellow ohana and your kumu, and that you created some wonderful pepeke painu based on the criteria that we gave you. Ea, mahalo nui keia hui ana e na ohana, e wala o kako mahope, a i ka wā kūpono, a hui ho aku no. Aloha.